Nicole O'Neill once said, when you find the courage to use your voice, it has the power to positively inspire and change the lives of others. It is one of the special gifts you have to offer the world. It is something to be cherished and championed, never hidden. And that is why we are here on Your Voice, Your Impact. I am the energetic EJ. I am a life and transformational coach, and I work with women aged 40 and above to turn their abandoned dreams into achievable goals by activating their voice for impact. I'm also a podcaster and an event host. On this show with me is
great, so amazing. The goal of this show is to help people use their voices to create impact. I am a physicist and a life coach. What I do for my clients is I help them build systems to achieve their goals whilst having fun doing it. On this show, we discuss topical issues that can inspire you to move. Like, subscribe, and share. Welcome aboard.
All right, welcome on board. Thank you for joining us again today on the show. This is Your Voice, Your Impact, and this is the energetic EJ. And I'm super excited that we're doing this again this week, just 2 days after our first session this month. And this is a special month. Of course, you know, when it comes to the topic of women, we are special. Yes, I know people keep complaining, oh, women, you people just celebrate women all the time. Like, how many times in a year do you celebrate women? Women's Day, Mothering Sunday, Girl Child Day, and all of that? Yeah, because honestly, we make the world go round. We add flavor and color to the world. So that's why you have to celebrate us. Anyways, that being said, welcome to Your Voice, Your Impact. You already know that this month we're dedicating it to women making impact in their sphere of influence. And so on Monday, we had somebody from the physiotherapy world come share with us activating your inner, unlocking your inner physiotherapy. And today we have another fantastic coach in the house. This is a worthiness coach, and we're talking about understanding self-worth for empowerment with Stephanie. And she is a ball of energy, right? You think I'm energetic, EJ? You're about to meet energetic Stephanie. But before we do that, let me bring up Gracie. Let's give you some our in-house welcome before we welcome our guests to the stage. Hello, Gracie. How are you doing today? Can you hear me? You're muted.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm very well, thank you. And I'm super excited for today. It was just like 2 days ago that we saw each other and we're here again. And you know how we do it. It's always a pleasure and it's always a good time when we do this. So yes, I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, I don't know if it is my network or something, but you know, I like to monitor what people are saying, and I'm looking blurry. I don't know what's going on. Is it my network?
Yeah, I
Network,
can
please don't do
see.
this to
Yes,
me.
I think I can see that you're looking blurry. But I think as we
Yeah,
go along, it
it
would
clears
set
out.
itself. I think so. Is someone
I
saying
hope.
something right now?
No. I can see it. I can literally see it on
Okay,
LinkedIn and on
okay.
Instagram, and it's so
Oh, I
blur.
see.
What's
I,
going
I
on?
can
Please
see
don't
that.
do this to me. StreamYard. I think it's a StreamYard thing because I don't understand. Anyways, I hope you can hear me clearly wherever you are joining us from. For some reason, my video is blur, but I hope you can hear me clearly. So whatever it is, let's listen into the conversation. All right. So we have here already in the studio, all the way from the US. Yes, we're starting about half an hour earlier because in the US the time has changed. And as at the time we initially scheduled this call, it was supposed to be in 30 minutes time. But US has now moved backwards to the daylight saving time, which brought their hours 1 hour backwards. And so that's why we're starting a little bit earlier. But of course, the conversation is still going to be interesting. So if you're joining us late, probably because you've had a particular time in mind, no worries. You can always catch the replay, whether on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or on Instagram. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to bring up our guest, Stephanie McPherson. Yes. Hello, 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 Queen Steph. How are you?
Hello, ladies! Woo! Ooh, ladies first, ladies first. The perfect song for the perfect month to celebrate women. We should be celebrating women
Absolutely.
every day.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love the energy you bring on board. Watching some of your videos, your cook videos, like every and the way you like carry everybody along, I'm like, okay, okay, we're gonna enjoy some energy in the room today. So you're welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for making it here. I'm gonna start this conversation based off of the fact that we're celebrating women in the month of March, and looking at the Women International Women's Day, which just happened last weekend, and the theme that says accelerate action. What does that speak to for you? Let's open up with that, and then we get into the topic of worthiness and empowerment.
Accelerating action. Your question is, what does that mean? Is it taking action? Accelerating on action. And that, EJ, is like what lights you on fire, what inspires
Mm,
you, what
mm,
drives you. Everybody is driven. Every single person is brainwashed and hypnotized by the way in which they carry out their everyday. Well, what is it
mm.
that's driving you to take the actions that you're taking, and hence creating current reality? And say that there is something that you want in your life. You want a certain experience, or to have a certain um, material object, let's say. Well, are you taking aligned action? Are your thoughts and your mind and your energy in alignment with that which you are wanting to experience? It's easy to say, I want a healthy body, for instance. But if you're not willing to take the action to have that, just sitting around is not going to create the healthy body. It's taking the action. But sometimes maybe one doesn't know all the things to take action on. Being diligent, researching, and then taking those steps, because you're worthy. As we get into the worthiness aspect, you're worthy of said experience or material object, whatever that is that you desire to have.
Absolutely. I love it. I love, love, love it. Like that's it. If you don't take action, nothing happens. And what the women, Women International Women's Day just say in essence is in that action you're taking, accelerate your determination to stay on that action, right? And keep
Yes.
doing what needs to be done. And result most times, like nothing good comes easy, and everything that is
Mhm.
good takes time. So you need to continue to pedal down on that acceleration to take action continuously towards the goal that you desire. Thank you for that beautiful opening, Steph. As we get into this conversation of understanding self worth, for empowerment. And I mean, when people hear the word women, it's almost like there is a significance between women and empowerment, right? So you see a lot of initiative, women empowerment, this, women empowerment, that. And for me, I'm wondering, like, do we like do we really need empowerment? Or are we naturally empowered as women? Do we have the power as women? What are we being empowered for when we, and I just wanted to tie that quickly to worthiness, and then I'll leave it for Gracie to take it because she asked the amazing questions. Anyways, go ahead, please. I hope there's not a lag. Am I lagging?
Is it me? I thought you asked her. I thought
No, no, no.
Steph
I'm
was going
asking.
to
Yeah, I'm
answer.
asking Steph. Like, no, yeah, yeah. I'm asking Steph, like, to see, when there is a correlation between women and empowerment. You hardly
Okay.
hear men empowerment program. You hardly hear it. I think it is. It exists, but people don't really. It's not. It's not a thing. But anytime you hear empowerment, you can easily attach women to it. So I'm saying, as women, do we
Yes.
truly need empowerment, or are we empowered? Is there something
Yes.
that is making us feel like we need empowerment when we don't? So help us tie that to, worthiness, and then we'll take the conversation deeper.
So I apologize. I thought you were asking Grace to start with questions. Anyway, I digress. So empower. Okay, why it's something that's usually associated, like men naturally are, as we see, or as we experience, and in my personal experience, men have that license. They're given that license to be. They call it. They don't call it aggressive. They call it just a man being a man, and taking action, speaking their mind. That's what's considered normal. And I'll give you two examples of where I absolutely feel like women, in my personal experience, we are having to have the conversation around empowerment with women. Is number one, how many women do you, and there are some men that do this as well, but constantly say, I'm sorry, oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. We have to be mindful of the words in which we're speaking, because our words are they're affecting our subconscious. They're affecting how we enable ourselves to show up. So, oh, I'm sorry, sorry. It's not I'm sorry. I talk with my clients and everybody about this. Like, it's not I'm sorry. It's excuse me, or I apologize. Like, I go to, the grocery store, Trader Joe's, and people are, on a busy Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon, and people are running around, with their carts. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just women apologize so often for taking up space. And that's what in essence, you're doing. And there's so much self-sacrifice and humility and modesty. I feel like, as I know I was taught as a little girl growing up in the South, North Carolina, in the United States, that women are to be seen, not heard. Be quiet, and absolutely not. And if there is that opposite, where a woman or a female is speaking up, you're aggressive, you're a bitch, and it's this subconscious programming. It's that we have to obliterate. And by having these conversations that are so important, that it becomes normal for women to be empowered, as men, as males are empowered to speak their mind, to be assertive. Because, yeah. And the other incidence is, well, and we tie this to the worthiness aspect. I was taking a class. It was a doTERRA oil class. And the facilitator, there was a group, there was like 10 women for this class. And one of the fun exercises that facilitator was having each one of us do was, in this workbook, was write seven things that you like about yourself. Well, because I have been on this journey of self-awareness, of personal empowerment since I was in my 20s, it was easy for me to just go, oh, just start writing. And I happened to look around, and all the other women were like, just looking around at one another. Like, it's almost as though they felt like, I don't, I could name 100 things about each one of them that are amazing. But it's women not like, oh, I'm not supposed to be proud of myself. I'm not supposed to know what is amazing. Bullshit. Because, and we have to obliterate that subconscious program, because it only does great for everyone, male, female, all, for everyone. We're divine feminine and we're divine masculine, and we have to celebrate that aspect in all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, that's powerful. Just realizing that, yes, a lot of us, and that's how we're brought up, really, like you said, and we apologize for just nothing, just like, hey, sorry, I want to ask a question. Sorry, please, I want to ask a question. Go ahead and ask your question. Why are you sorry? All right, Grace, please take it away.
It's amazing. It's amazing to note that, first and foremost, we are all representing three continents. And whilst you were speaking, I was like, even in America, like, because we would say that in all in all would like to say there are some people that already understand some of these things. Right there in the West, you'd hear that more women are empowered. They are assertive. They are, but hearing you say this, it's would I say it's making me feel like, okay, this is like a global issue. But having said that, I have a question to ask you. And while I'm going to, this question is centered around what you just said about when a woman does a particular thing, she's seen as a bitch, but if it's, okay, disclaimer, let me quickly say something, say something to the guys out there so they will not feel like, is it a male, women, trust me, you're going to enjoy it at the end of the day and you'll understand why we're doing this, because we realize that when women are, when they understand themselves, they are the first caregivers, if we want to look at it. So it's what they have on their inside that they give to the children that they bring to
Yes.
this world. So the question I'm asking you right now is, as a as someone that understands what's going on in this sphere of women suffering from this, be at the backside, what do you think can be done on a day-to-day basis as a woman? What do you think? Because from what I heard you say, it's something unconscious. It has become unconscious. It's the case of wanting to say sorry for everything and all of that. What do you think should be the mindset of a woman in this day and age that can help them understand their worth? What should be that mindset that should help them understand their worth, even as we journey with our counterparts, the male counterparts? So what
Right.
mindset should an average woman have to understand her worth?
So, at the root of that, okay, it's not about just, oh, I'm going to have an empowered mindset. Oh, okay. Oh, Grace, energetic EJ, and Stephanie were saying I need to be empowered. I'm just going to be empowered. At the root of that is
Yes.
self discovery, self awareness, understanding self. And when I'm saying that, it is true. So I read a book when I was 24 years old called The Empowered Mind. And because I was having these questions about what was I really, I knew what my interests were and what I thought I wanted to do. But it changed when I started asking myself those questions, those basic questions, like, and it's not like, who am I? It's like, what, what do you like doing? Like, what did you enjoy doing as a child? What inspired you to what were your playtime or your imaginary habits when you were a child? And it's about, at the root of that is about self-discovery, because the greatest relationship any person on this planet, male or female, can have is the relationship with understanding self. And from that understanding of self comes what you're saying, is that empowered, because empowered people empower other people. And being empowered isn't about having power over others. It's about having power over self. And power over self is setting boundaries, knowing what you'll tolerate and what you will not, what you will allow, as well as, again, as I mentioned earlier, like being lit up, like what lights you up. And it's going to be different for energetic EJ as it is for you, as it is for me. And I'm sure there's going to be some similarities too, because we're sitting here talking to one another. But it is truly about discovering, like I was writing, like what my skills were, what I was good at, what I loved doing, what I was not, what I didn't enjoy doing, and through that self-discovery is where my journey started to that greater self-awareness. And it's going to be continued. We're always learning. until we're no longer physically present on this earth. There's more and more and more. And I used to talk about this, Grace. You've been on my podcast, Empowered Conversations, 3 years ago. And I was on yours. And talking about, like, that energetic space of, we don't know what's possible until we realize that there is that possibility. So if someone, we all come from different backgrounds and different parental, non-parental, there's trauma. But that doesn't mean, regardless of your background, if you're a human, if you're individual soul, you are worthy. And you're worthy of that self-discovery. And then through that self-discovery is the self-love, true love for self. And then when you love yourself, like, again, you're going to be more inclined to make choices that are in alignment with fueling and being the best and highest version of yourself. And that is empowering. That is empowerment. And then you're going to want that for other people. I ache for every soul on this planet to truly be alive and love themselves and operate from that space of self-worthiness.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
I love it. I love it. Especially, the last thing you just said, because imagine, a candle, it's a common thing. A candle would never lose its glow by lighting other candles.
Other candles.
It's that perception for me. And then what you said, I had to smile to that. And that's what this is all about. And that is why we are celebrating women, because we understand that if we can understand who we are and we can do marvelous, wonderful things, everyone would
The world
enjoy.
will be a
But if
better
you have
place. Yeah.
beta people that have been seen as weaklings, people that are seen as, they have to, it will affect, and then we'll continue to bring in the generations that are struggling with one thing or the other. So I just love it. So if you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, what are they even talking about? We are talking about how it is important that we understand our worth, understand what we are about, so that we can thrive and let other people thrive.
So good.
Okay. What
So
just
good.
happened? All right, over to you, the
So
energetic.
good.
I
So
can
good.
just go ahead. So please, over to you.
So good. I mean, I've heard that. Like, in fact, I've heard that phrase, which is empower people, just the same way it's like hurting people hurt people, right? And even recently in church, the series we're on is like forgiving sinners, forgive sinners, right? I've heard this phrase over and over again. But for some reason, the way you said it, like when you said it again and you brought it down and you like wrapped up what you said, it was almost like a new window opened. And that's why, like she said, I also smiled like, ooh, that's it. That is it. And when you said, you ache, it's just the same. And for me, for me, it just feels like, oh, oh, no wonder, EJ, all these years, you just want people to use their voice because your voice is one of your strongest weapon. And if you don't hone it, if you don't love it, you can't use it. You can't use what you don't love, especially about yourself.
Right.
Like, you can't dress well if you think your body is "Bleh." No, it's that's how you go. That's why you see some people, they're just like their shoulders down, head down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? When you're supposed to like there is just this glow, and it's not even about skincare. Skincare comes as a plus, but
Right.
when there is a glow from within, there is a way you begin to carry yourself. There's a way you smile. There's a way you exude joy that,
Mm.
to an extent, like even your physical features, averagely, without being mean or whatever, you could say you're an average 5, for example, if we're giving numbers to pretty and gorgeous and all of that. But there's still something about you when you come to terms with who you are, that even at a 5, a woman physically fit at a 10 we still see you
Mhm.
and look like, what is wrong? Like, why is she so confident? Dude, it's because she
Yeah.
knows what she is.
Abso-freaking-lutely. And that is beautiful. That is beautiful to see. As you were saying, you're a 10. And you can see, you can see people, and it's sad, when you experience, you don't need eyes to see, you need vision. That's a
Mm,
faithless reverence lyric. You don't need
Mm,
eyes to see some things. You can feel, you can
vision.
energetically pick up on how someone
Mm,
feels about themselves. And
yes.
as an empath, because I am an empathic person, I have to do a lot of, energetic protection. But
Training, yes.
and that's
So you
why
don't
one
get
of the
drained.
yeah, and it's one of the biggest reasons why, for me personally, why I want and desire and ache for other people to know their worth and value, know how unique and amazing and special, because I'm no more. I'm unique. You're unique. We're all unique, but I'm no more special, or no more entitled, or no more. Um, Meaning, I'm no more deserving than any
Than
other soul
you.
on this planet.
Mm.
But I know my worth and value. That's why I operate from that space, and everybody should be. I want everybody to do that.
So beautiful. I love it. I love this conversation. All right. I love
Me
it. So
too.
so what are some things, if somebody is watching this or listening to this right now and they know it, that there's a difference between knowing and knowing what to do. A
Mhm.
lot of people know. We all know stuff. We all know. We all know that, oh, at the end of a tunnel, there is light.
Right.
It's darkening. We all know it. But it's
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm in this tunnel. I have no clue how to keep up until I get to that light I can see. It's like I know it in my head, but my heart is not understanding it. My mind is not
Right.
encapsulating it for me to know what to do. If somebody is in that space now, they understand that, they want to have more self-worth. It's their
Mhm.
desire, but they don't even know where to start from. They don't know
Right.
how to go about it. What would you say to that person?
What I would say is just having that desire, that want of an experience, is that all you just, like, I start out with gratitude.
Hmm.
Wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, and people are like, "Oh, I don't know what to be grateful. I don't have anything to be grateful for." I bet you have one thing. One, I mean, and I know it's not whimsical to say that. I am being serious. You have to
Hmm.
start to look around, look within, and look around and go, okay, what is one thing I can write down? Let's say writing is very good for the conscious and unconscious mind to
Therapeutic.
write.
Mhm.
Whether just grab a sheet of paper, go buy a journal, doctor it up, make it pretty, or whatever, make it awesome, and just write down one thing you're grateful for, and maybe you can only think of one thing for a week, and then maybe in 10 days you
Mm.
think of two things, and then maybe in 21 days you've thought of eight things. And just to build upon being grateful, to build upon, okay, like I said, when I was with those women, and that we're just looking around the room, and the facilitator goes, "Wow, it's hard to know what we like about ourselves, isn't it?" And these, again, it's like, let's just, I don't remember, her name was Barbara. I'm just gonna say Barbara. What Barbara might say. Her name wasn't Barbara, but I'm like, Barbara might say, um, she might say, "Well, I'm a good mother." Okay,
Mm.
you know,
mm,
um, okay, and then go deeper. Okay, well, what makes you a good mother?
Mother.
Oh, well,
Mm.
because, I have this love for my children. Okay, all right, so you have this love, and you go deeper, and then you go deeper, and then you go deeper, and then finally you get to the root of what makes you a good mother. And that's because of the
Mm.
things that are within yourself, that are your things, that
Mm.
enable you to be good at something. For me, cooking. I'm very good at cooking. I'm naturally good at cooking. Well, I've been cooking since I was 3 years old. It was a huge passion and
Wow.
passion of mine. Oh yeah, well, my grandma. Yeah, oh yeah. So my grandma. I was always in the kitchen. We went to visit my grandparents. I was always in the kitchen with my grandma. And but it's just like, often the times, again, have you all ever seen the movie? Oh my God, it's one of the best movies on the freaking planet. It's called oh, what is it? Dangerous Beauty. Dangerous
Okay.
Beauty.
I haven't seen it.
Um,
Dangerous Beauty.
Kath,
Okay.
yeah, is it Catherine McCormick? Catherine McCormick is the main character, and it's about the courtesans back during the Black Death period, you know,
Hmm.
and again, what women were subject to. They were property. They were wives, or they were always something of someone else's. And there's a scene where the man, he has to marry according to his station, whatever that is, but he has to, you know what I mean. He has to marry, because his families are wanting to combine, farms or financial resources of what or whatever. So
Hmm.
he has to marry this woman, even though he's madly in love, and
With
his
somebody
heart
else.
pounds for
Hmm.
someone else, that they can't do that contractually. So he has to marry this woman, but what he loves and is in love with about the woman he's in love with is her free spiritedness, is her self empowered awareness, this fun, this just, I'm going to be myself and I don't give a rat's ass, what anybody thinks. But again, he's sitting there with his wife, and he's laying across the bed, and she's sitting there at the end of the bed, and they're just having a conversation. He goes, "What do you want for yourself?" And she goes, "I want to give you many strong sons." "No, what do you want for yourself?" "I want to be a good wife." He goes, "No,
Oh,
I want, what do you want?" There is such
you.
power in this conversation.
Wow.
Dangerous Beauty. I have watched this movie 1,000 times.
I should go look for
That
it.
is the main character is truly an empowered woman, and she, anyway, I'm not going to give all the whole story away, but that's such a, a
No
moment
spoiler
of,
alert. Yeah.
what'd you say?
I said no
What?
spoiler alert. You're not gonna give it up. No spoiler alert. We got
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. But again, it's like so
Hmm.
many women. Again, I was taught the same.
Yeah.
Is that we give at the complete expense of ourselves. We through our own complete, like, you cannot, and this is cliche, but I'm going to say it because it's truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You
Cup.
must pour into your cup. Because, like, what do they say on a plane? Put your mask on first. But
Yes.
I gotta save my child. Well, what if you can't save yourself and you die? Then your
The whole.
child's really up shit's
Yeah.
creek. So put your mask on first and fill your cup first, and then then
You're
you
empowered.
have to give. And again, and empowering, and you're living an empowered life. You're empowering other women, because we're talking about women and men. Everybody deserves to be worthy and empowered. But again,
Hmm.
and I know I just rambled, but to your point, to your question, is
Yeah.
again, at the root, it's self-discovery, it's self-awareness, and it's that personal empowerment that starts to empower you from thinking about one thing to a
Yeah,
hundred
great. Yeah.
things. And then because again, like, even for myself, because we're always growing, as I mentioned earlier, we're always growing, we're always
Evolving.
coming into a new understanding of
Mm.
new ideas and new possibilities and what is possible. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing, as long as you're open to that, being aware. And it's like there's certain things that, it's like you said, or like at at the very beginning, about how we're building upon. Like, when I think about
Yeah.
what I've built upon, from my cooking show DeFaRekinLicious, to my cookbook, to my Empowered Conversations podcast, to now
Right.
doing the meal prep. It's like DeFaRekinLicious is the umbrella. DeFaRekinLicious is the empire from which
Yeah.
everything is blossoming,
Bringing forth.
and it's part of that
Mm.
package.
Right. I love it. I love
And
it. Self-discovery is so
yeah.
powerful. Yes, Grace, you wanted to say something? Yes, Grace, you wanted to say something?
She
Are
froze.
you
Oh, there she
frozen?
is.
Yeah. Okay, you're back.
No,
We can hear you
I'm
now.
here.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. I like what you said. There was something I was going to say. Okay, yes. I was just sitting down. Was it yesterday? I was just saying to myself, I was just excited. I was like, why am I excited? I don't saw that. I I was already thinking ahead of what I would do next, to tap into another part of me, and it's from I was going to get myself a guitar. I
That's cool.
energetic. You play the guitar, right? You know how to play
I
the guitar.
used to.
Oh, energetic
Not
does. I
you.
thought, okay. I thought, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to get that for myself last year, but I said, okay, I can always get it. Let me just, do what I have to do now. So while you were talking, I was just like enjoying it because for me, one thing I have come to realize about myself is I'm very adventurous and I like to try new things. And just thinking about it alone gives me joy. I find joy in that. So I'm saying this to help someone out there that is saying that what's so beautiful about my life right now? What's so interesting about my life right now? The thing is, you don't need to wait. You go ahead to discover what can be beautiful about your life. So I just thought it would be nice, to put that in. So now I'm going to ask you this question. So there's always, as human beings, there is need. There is this we have our needs and we have our wants, and what we know from Maslow's hierarchy of needs is confidence, self-worth, and no self-esteem. So if you're to tie one's self-esteem and worthiness, even though they seem like in your own understanding, what would you call, because these things are in there's a spectrum. There's a
Yeah.
spectrum, meaning that, okay, yeah. So if you were to compare, or if you were to talk to someone about one understanding their having a healthy self-esteem, or comparing one's worth and their self-esteem and tie it together with confidence, how would you help marinate all these things together to help people understand or even know if it's the same or if it's different? How would you tie all these things together to help one know that, okay, I think I have a healthy self esteem, or I think I'm worthy of this, or help us marry all, and then confidence, because it is a need as human beings. So help someone out there that is not even sure of what it means to have a healthy self-esteem, what it means to be worthy, or what it means to be confident.
Okay. I love that question because the more worth you feel that you are, okay, the more esteem, healthy, you're gonna have a healthier esteem, self-esteem, that is what creates that I'm now confident. I am confident. Okay, so think about, and I'll use a basic example. So let's say someone who has never cooked, they're not going to. Okay, so so say that they don't feel they're worthy of cooking their own meals because they don't know how to cook. So there's an esteem of that's lower towards cooking. Okay, because they weren't inspired by their grandmother, whatever, different, they have different life, and then they're just so, but they're like, I would like, I love to eat, and so again, that basic need of I love to eat, well, it would be cool to be able to make my own food. So then they're starting to learn those tools, and to put together meals. So then they're, oh, I'm worthy, and I'm esteemed. I feel a higher self-esteem around cooking, and now I'm confident to go and cook a meal for someone else. So, and that's in every aspect of life. So that's just a remedial example I gave that we can like kind of visualize, because sometimes this conceptualization around just be empowered, it's not as easy to understand. But at the basics, again, when we talk about you know like learning about yourself. It's okay to learn about yourself. It's okay to want to I want to know myself more, because I really do want to be happier. I want to feel more fulfilled. I want to, make more of an impact in the lives of others. So
Mm.
starting with those basics, and as you build, again, now I'm confident to go cook for other people. Now, shoot, I'm gonna start my own business, and I'm gonna, cook. I'm gonna own a cooking business. I mean, you see what I'm saying? And does that make
I
sense?
love it. I mean, you did it. You
Lot of
nailed it. You nailed it. Literally, you nailed it. Like, because that example makes so much sense to me. It just goes down to say, you know what? This could be a template. This cooking thing you just did could be a template. All you need to do is remove that thing you need and look for what you need to do, and you know grow until you're confident enough to make money out of it. Because from what you just said, once you're able to get to that level of confidence, then you can beat your chest and say, you know what, I think I'll make money out of it.
Right.
I love it.
I
Right.
love it.
And coming from no knowledge of cooking, no experience of cooking whatsoever. And then now look at you. You might be a world renowned chef, traveling the world, hosting dinner parties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If anything is possible for anyone, anything is
it's
possible
possible.
for anyone.
Yes.
Mm.
I love it. And that's going back to what Gracie was asking about the mindset. I think that is one of the biggest mindset that anybody can hold on to, that anything is possible. So, but it comes back to you realizing it first, coming back to that point, like, okay, I know, okay, this is not my self-worth, or the way I weigh myself, or the way I see me. I don't think it's up to par. I'm not confident enough. I don't think I'm worthy enough. Once you recognize that, you know then that it is possible to elevate your worth, to elevate your confidence, to elevate, your self-esteem. And now that comes back to the question, okay, how do we do that? So from the starting point to how do we do that is, first of all, knowing, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm grateful that I even realize this is where I'm at, that
Mm.
I lack this. Now, from this place of gratitude, what do I need, or who do I need to become to make me feel better? What do I need to become to make me feel better? What do I need to do? And then doing that and building on it, and building, just realizing that we evolve. We are evolving beings. And even trees that don't move, they still evolve, because we have the season come and go, the leaves
And it
fall
keeps
off,
rotating.
fresh, exactly, fresh leaf comes on, fruit comes, the fruit falls off, the season goes
Oh, I
again.
love
And
it.
Yeah.
so
This is so. This is such an aha moment. Love it. So there is honestly no dead end for anyone.
oh,
Nothing is impossible. All you just need to know is accept that, okay, I don't know this thing, I don't have it, but I can actually get to the point where I would have it if I have to do the work. Talk about accelerate action now.
you get what I'm saying?
Accelerate
I love it.
Yes.
action.
Yes. Accelerated action. And oh, whoa, here we are.
I love
We've
it. I
arrived.
love it. Yes. Yes. And is that action? And I think one of the things that I feel like is a huge challenge for many is, one, underestimating time and
Mm.
comparison. Those two things is what is making a lot of people not wait out their season. So first of all, you either have a wrong, or you fixed your mind, which is the fixed mindset. You fixed your mind on a particular timing or
Mhm.
duration it will take. When, as a
It
matter
should
of
take
fact, it
you.
should be as free as, okay, I am going to get there. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I will get there.
Mhm.
Simple. And keep going. Keep
Mhm.
accelerating action. Keep building and keep
Mhm.
going.
Mhm.
Two is when you pause and then you look around. Oh, she's faster than me.
Mm.
Oh, he's doing it so amazingly.
Right.
Something is wrong with me.
Right. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And there you
Right.
go. And then
Everybody's
the
on their own journey.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
yeah. Woof. This is so good. Thank you,
Yes.
Steph.
So
It's
thank you,
beautiful. I
girls.
mean, you succinctly, am I using that word well, very well. You put it so well that in my head, it's already a masterclass. But I need to add something where
Yeah.
we get stuck most of the time, even when we know what to do and how to go about it. We have for some people the give up spirit, the lack of when you don't get to seek help when you need to seek help. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for I think most times, most times I used to, I've gone past that now. I used to be that person that would want something so badly, but when I get to the point where I meet that hurdle, that's hurdle, I'll be like, okay, maybe this isn't for me.
And
I'm
go,
gone.
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's admit it. At some point in life, we get to that point where we're like, maybe this is not for me. And when we are this close to our
Your
eureka
breakthrough or your
moment,
breaking point.
we go back.
Yeah.
You know, but in the
Yeah.
last in the past 4 or 5 years, even speaking about the profession that I have come to love, I remember telling myself, like, is are you really sure you want to go on this path? And then I told myself that, look, Grace, this is it. You're not going anywhere, not until you get to the point where
Very
you
much.
have set for yourself. So it's very important. If we need to put that there, you need help when you need help, because you can't see beyond your know. You can only see for as far as you know. There's certain things
Mm,
you know that you
Mm-hmm.
will not know beyond that. That's when you need help. You need external help. If you need to get a coach, if you need
yeah.
to get someone, a friend that knows
You need a
the
fresh
Right.
avenue. You need a
perspective.
mentor. If you need a
Yeah.
mentor, if you need,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so all those other parts would come to play in this in what Steph
Journey.
shared with us, you know, knowing what you have, what you need, getting to the point of seeking the knowledge, the required skill to help you, you know, learn that particular thing, and then practicing it, doing it over and over again until you get to the level where you're confident enough, you know, to show it to the world. And this
Yeah.
platform is what we do. This is what we do right here.
Yeah.
It's okay, even if you're at the tail end, you started doing something and you think it might benefit someone, or you want someone to hear what you're about. And then I'm sure that's the next question. So just give us a little bit how you got into your cooking, you know, journey, how this whole thing started. I've been watching you for almost 4 years, and the consistency for me is something else. How you enjoy doing what you're doing. So how have you gotten to this point where you are able to do this consistently, and you marinate it with so much joy and energy? How are you able to, where do you get your energy from, if I may ask?
We
Girl,
want
I
to
was
know your
born with this.
supplier.
What were you about to say, energetic? What'd you say?
I said she asked that question as if we want to know your energy supplier.
Yeah, hold on. He's down the road. Let me go get him. Um, y'all, I was born with this energy. My mama, like I was talking about this a couple days ago with somebody. Uh, as soon as I could walk, I was running. I'm gonna tell y'all a real cute story. Real cute story about me when I was barely a year old. Again, my mama and daddy always said as soon as she could walk, she ran. So we lived in this trailer park up until I was about 3 years old, and it was a 2-lane highway, like right on the edge of a 2-lane highway, and across the street was a store, a convenience store. And we went over there and we get candy and stuff like that. Well, mama and daddy and my grandma and grandpa, we were all out in the front yard. This is the story they tell me. Grandma says she looks, and I was standing right there. She looks away. What she says is for 1 second. She looks back, and I was gone. They're ransacking the yard. They're freaking out. They're freaking out. Where's Stephanie? Where's Stephanie? Daddy's inside the house, and the phone rings. He picks it up. He's like, hello? And the guy across the street at the store is like, Hugh, you missing a daughter? He's like, yeah. He goes, well, I got her up here on sitting on my counter. She's eating a chunky candy bar. My ass ran across the highway at a moment's notice because I knew where that candy was. So my energy it's just here, you know. But to talk about the cooking, so again, like I mentioned, I was always passionate about cooking all my life. And back then, my mom and dad, they took sweets away from us. I loved desserts. I loved to make sweet stuff. And I loved to be in the kitchen with my grandma. Well, in my early 20s is when I started that journey to health and wellness. And I was eating the typical tuna and grilled chicken and vegetables and the plain, flavorless food. But I was dedicated because I knew I wanted a certain reality. So I was willing to do whatever it took. But along that time, I came across that Cooking Light subscription. I had a multi-year, you know, subscription to Cooking Light. I taught to myself how to make healthy food delicious. And I knew that upon seeing like a certain network on TV that I wanted to be, hosting cooking shows on major networks. I was getting a bachelor's in biology at the time, and I wanted to go into pharmaceutical sales, and I wanted to go into, medical device, or should I say surgical equipment. I got into surgical equipment. I'm trying to make this story short, y'all. And so was in surgical, medical device sales, and I was having a bunch of bullshit happening with those types of jobs. And IIN, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, started rotating on my Facebook newsfeed, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, health coach. Boom. I am somebody who takes, I think fast, act quicker. Jump on it, became a certified health coach in 2016, knowing I wanted to host cooking shows. I'm headed to the gym one day, and DeFaRekinLicious popped into my head. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't wait for the perfect studio and the perfect camera crew and the perfect lighting and everything. I took my damn iPhone, I set it up, and I hit record, and I did my first the kale salad. This was like November 2016, I believe. And it was hilarious before I knew anything about editing. And I just have this heart-pounding passion for what I do. And and I simply just started creating DeFaRekinLicious, and my friends would come on. We'd dress up. It was silly. It was fun. But it was all about healthy being delicious with this fun flair of humor in my cooking show, because that is who I am. And and then as somebody reached out to me, I was doing meal prep for a couple of people, and somebody reached out to me about doing it for her parents and then their community. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then that just grew and grew and grew. And I became an LLC, and I contracted with this kitchen, and I'm doing the healthy Chef Steph meal prep. And it's just like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, okay, what else? What's next? What's next? What's next? I am showing up. I am somebody who sees unicorn opportunities, and I jump.
We love it. You're the real accelerate action. I mean, we you are you are a living, working accelerate action. And
Thanks,
we
Grace.
love you. We love you. And thank you for sharing your wonderful self with us. And
You're so welcome. Thank you.
beautiful moment right now. Your voice is creating impact.
Woo!
Woo!
I love it.
Simply
We
amazing.
love it.
Simply
Thank
amazing. I
you.
just love your energy. And that just goes to show when you fall in love with yourself, it's almost like you are unstoppable. And if everybody can just tap into that superpower that they have on their inside, I think the world would just be a beautiful place because everybody will be living out of the abundance of who they are. And we are so abundant. And that's why, we say we are evolving, but we are limitless. So there's still, as much as you said, you think fast but you act faster, there's still a lot in you that you haven't even met yet,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you are on that journey. You've set the stage for yourself to keep discovering,
Yes.
rediscovering, and just tapping into it. And I think that is just the beauty of life. And if we can all get to that point, the life will be so colorful. Like everywhere you turn
Yes.
will be, you feel like it's blossoming. And I hope that we all get to that point in our
Yeah.
journeys where we live out of the abundance of the unlimited source that we are, and it's just
Yes.
lovely. It's
Yes.
beautiful. It's beautiful. You are unlimited. If you're watching this or listening to this, just don't
Yep.
doubt this. You are unlimited. Tap into
Mhm.
it. Tap into it. Take
Mhm.
away every small-mindedness. And I know that
Mhm.
sometimes it's difficult because what you're familiar with is what you're familiar with, but that's where you need help. That's where you
Yes.
need help, the help of coaches, the help of therapists, the help of mentors, to help you see, to help you break through the limits that is there. I'm just like, this conversation today is setting me on fire afresh on the journey that I'm on this year, which is breaking limits. Like, my personal motto for the year is breaking limits, and these are the kind of conversation that just springs you forth. Like, you know what, you are unlimited. Ooh,
Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
thank you so much,
Love it.
Steph.
Thank
Love it.
you so much. It was an honor to be here. It was such an honor to be here. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
We appreciate you and we love you, and keep being your div. Oh, please tell me, DeFaRekinLicious.
Deep,
DeFaRekinLicious.
DeFaRekinLicious.
DeFaRekinLicious. DeFaRekinLicious.
DeFaRekinLicious. Keep being your
DeFaRekinLicious.
Woo!
DeFaRekinLicious
It's going to be
self.
a household name associated with healthy, scrumptiously delicious food. That's my goal.
Yes.
Oh my
Household
gosh.
around the world. Oh, that was DeFaRekinLicious.
Ooh.
DeFaRekinLicious. Yes. We love it. We love it.
We love it. We love it. Thank you so much. Hopefully we will get to, how can people connect with you to follow the work you're doing quickly as we wrap up the session?
So I'm sure that you have tagged my Instagram handle. I have two.
Yes,
I have the one for
absolutely.
DeFaRekinLicious. I have the one for solely for my meal prep page, Healthy
Okay.
Chef Steph 704, because that's our
Okay.
area code here in Charlotte, North Carolina. HealthyChefSteph.com. There, I know it's, if you're watching, you spell DeFaRekinLicious like they have it spelled right here. You don't necessarily have to have all the caps. Just Google it, and then that's where you'll find, oh, Instagram, TikTok, you know,
Absolutely
Facebook.
fantastic. We love it. We love it. We want to be a part of the Day for a Link.
And we'll
Oh,
have it someday. I'm going to eat from your kitchen.
y- yes,
One day
Ooh,
soon, I'm going to come eat
girl, I'm
from your
telling
yes,
you right
kitchen.
now, I'm going to
yes.
be traveling the world. I'm going to be traveling the world, taking my cooking show, and I'm combining it with empowered conversations. And I'm coming to
Love it.
Nigeria. I'm coming to Dubai. We are going to
Woo!
create together. I am serious.
Woo! Let's do this, babe. Let's do
From your
it.
mouth to the world, to the universe. And it's definitely going to happen.
Woo!
Love it.
Yes. YES
Oh my goodness.
SSSSSS. Yes.
Love it, love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the conversation today. I hope that you are pumped. Like, you can see that we are pumped and we are ready. Like, there is no slowing down on this journey. There is no slowing down. And as we evolve, we, are bent on carrying along everyone that needs to go on that journey as well. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why we keep telling you that you have a voice. Never think that your voice doesn't count. Your voice absolutely counts because your experience is unique to you. Nobody has your same exact experience. Nobody. I kid you not. It might be similar. It might look very much alike, but it is not exactly the same. And that is why it counts. You count, you matter, and the world needs to hear your voice in some way or another. And if you are happy to share it with us, you're happy to be on the show, you are welcome. But if not, there are other means to also share your voice, right? You can write a book. You can write articles, like just ensuring that you're sharing your lived experiences so that other people can learn from your experience. And I think when you actually take time to go through your journey of discovery, it's beautiful. There is enough to share. And there's somebody out there that would be inspired by your story. So this is Your Voice, Your Impact, and we're super excited. We can't wait for more women that are going to come up on the show in this month of March. We're looking forward to more in the coming weeks. So please stay tuned. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Your Voice, Your Impact, please do that. If you're not following us across social media, we are on LinkedIn. Okay, no, we're not on LinkedIn actually. We are on Instagram at Your Voice, Your Impact Show. But you can connect with us one-on-one as 𝙤𝙭 on LinkedIn and Grace Edibo on LinkedIn, or follow us on Instagram at Grace So Amazing on Instagram and at Global Energetic EJ. And of course, please look out for Steph McPherson online, stephchef.com, right?
Healthy chef
Healthy
Steph.com. That's
dot
the
com.
website for
Right.
meal prep. But again, if they
For me.
Google DeFaRekinLicious, they'll find everything else where they can
Everything
engage and
about
follow.
it.
Because if you're not local to Charlotte, you can't order my food right now. But anyway,
Right, right. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Steph, for making time to be here. I know you have to run now to your next meeting. Have a good one and keep being your bubblicious self. Thank you for bringing your energy on the show
thank
today.
you,
We
girls.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, till we come your way again next Monday, we have another it's funny. Next Monday we have another session, and it's talking about health, and your health and lifestyle. So be a part of that, and then we'll talk to you then. See you guys. Bye. Good
Bye,
night. Have a
guys.
Bye.
fantastic one. All right,
Bye,
bye.
Grace. Bye, Energetic EJ.
Bye.
Bye, Stephanie.